All right, this is the I.S.U.P.K Wednesday law class. Also, remember to check out Commanding General YAHANNA's radio show. Wait 1 second, let me just pull up. Yeah, also remember to check out Commanding General YAHANNA's radio show, which is Monday, 2 a.m. Also, we have classes here in the UK Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we have under ends on Friday. That's done in the Birmingham school. Then you have a class from London, which is, hold on, give me a sec. Yeah, you have a class from London, which is Tuesday, 7 p.m. till 9. And also Manchester's doing classes as well, which comes on Friday, 7 p.m. till 9. So the schedule, you got classes in the UK Monday to Friday now. So you got classes Monday to Friday, Sabbath service Saturday, and so forth. And also, there's tons of classes in America. Just follow all the pages, all the I.S.U.P.K pages that you come across. Follow them, like, subscribe, and so forth. And we also got the feast day coming up here, the 21st of June, which is the Feast of First Fruits. So we got that coming up the 21st of June. Then after that, the next one is September and Atonement and so forth. But for now, we got First Fruits at the school. So come on down to that, man. If you're anywhere in the UK, come on down to that, which will be 394 Lodge Road, B18 5PW. So if you're black or Hispanic born, if you're Israelite, one of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, you're more than welcome to come, man. But obviously, if you're not, you ain't allowed to come in here, man, because this place is holy, man. Like, this truth is the only thing we got left. Because what happened, once we let other nations in, we have nothing, man. Everything gets taken away from us. And then they start ruling everything. Imagine you brought them into something that belonged to you, and then they've taken it away from you, man. Like rap music, now Eminem's took it away from all these brothers who can rap but ain't got a deal, man. Now, in H getting a deal, that means a black man who should have got a deal didn't get a deal, man. In Morrison getting a rap deal, that means a black man who should have got a deal didn't get a deal. So this is why we can't give what we have to these other nations, man. Or it results in our brothers lacking what you've gave to somebody else who didn't deserve it, man. So we're going to start off in the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. This is one of my favorite precepts, man. I'll probably start most classes with this one. But because there's a stigma on us. People look at us like we're criminals and we're going to harm people and with this and with that. When the truth is, we're not, man. All we do is live our life according to the laws of God. Now, people make out like we're harmful, when really, everyone we come into contact with, we're respectful, man. We don't bother nobody. We know it's not personal. We don't bother nobody. We just serve the Lord, man. But obviously, the rumors you'll hear about us, the lies you'll hear about us, you'll hear a ton of lies about us. People say, oh, damn, they're racist. They're this, they're that. They beat their wives. They're just angry black men. When all of those things ain't true, man. There's no proof of those things. Now, if we do those things, show us the proof, man. We the most righteous people on the face of this earth, man.
That's right.
We keep the laws of the land. Listen, a man that claims he loves England don't even keep the laws of England, man. These people that claim they love England is the ones brawling and getting drunk at football matches, man. Getting drunk at football matches, attacking everybody. That's who's violent, man. But nobody looks at them. People look at us, and we don't commit no crimes, man. 1 second, let's get there with your Romans. Actually, you can read it. Actually.
Romans 12 and 2. And be not conformed to this world.
And it says, be not conformed to this world. So now, people be mad at us. Why? Because we ain't conformed to this world. Meaning, we don't do what this world wants us to do. We don't do what everybody else does. So people look at us like these are outsiders. These are different. And the Bible says, be not conformed to this world. So I'm going to read the definition of a conformist. So people conform to this world. This is what a conformist is. A person who conforms to accepted behavior or established practices. And an established practice is to be a Christian, man. An established practice is to be a homosexual. An established practice is to eat anything that's put on your plate. That's an established practice. That's what a conformist is. Now, We ain't conformists. So because we don't celebrate Christmas like the rest of the world do, what happens? We look down upon like, what's wrong with these lot, man? They say they call us all sorts of names because we don't celebrate Christmas. We don't celebrate Easter. We don't eat pork and so forth. So we look down upon it as like we in the wrong. So because we ain't conformed to this world, obviously this world ain't gonna love us. So that's how it goes. This world ain't gonna love us. Why? Because we ain't conformed to it. We don't do what it tells you to do. We don't be how it tells you to be. We don't love who it tells you to love. So this world sees us as the opposition, man. That's right. So what they do is spread slander about us, lies about us, and everything they say about us, it's not true, man. People write articles about us, and you read in the articles, and then you would think, well, damn, these are nasty, these are horrible people, man. Until you actually know us and you realize everything in the article is lies, man. That's right. Everything in the article is slander and taken out of context. There's no truths to the articles that they write, man. I mean, if these news reporters want to know anything about us, you can come and interview us, man. It's that simple. Don't write lies about us. Just come and contact Captain Parasha, and I'm sure you'll get the interview that you're looking for, man. You'll get the interview that you're looking for, and people will see how we are, man, instead of them writing lies about us. And the thing is this, man, when your enemy writes about you, he's never going to write the truth, man. It's just common sense. When your enemy writes about you, he's always going to write lies and never write the truth. It's like the Catholic Church, man, when they write about their enemies, you think they say, oh yeah, this person was a good person, but we killed them. They ain't going to tell you that. Listen, man, when they came and took us from West Africa, man, they didn't tell the truth. They said, you know what, these people are savages and so forth, and we need to tame them. And we made them civilized. So that's what they say about black people on a whole. So any black man believing what the media has to say about us and believing what the Christian church has to say about us, don't believe it, man. Because they're also the same people that said black people are uncivilized savages, man. And they're also the same people that said they civilized you. And now in certain history classes, they're trying to tell you that slavery was a choice. Trying to say, what did they call it? The Great Migration. The Great Migration, like you came over here willingly, like you came over here by choice, man. That's what they call it, the Great Migration. Read on.
But be ye transformed.
But be ye transformed. Why? Because one time you was conformed to this world. One time we was conformed to this world. And it says, be ye transformed, meaning if you was conformed to this world at one time, which you was, because obviously you was just born into celebrating Christmas, born into celebrating Easter, born into celebrating your birthday. Why? Because your parents taught you all those things. Why? Because they was conformed to this world. So now you found out the truth. It's time for you to be ye transformed. And transform means what? To change, man. Meaning to not be conformed no more. Transform yourself. You was once conformed. No longer be conformed to what this world wants you to do. Read on.
Transformed by the renewing of your mind.
It's transformed by the renewing of your mind. And how do you renew your mind? By coming to class and learning new things, man. By you coming to class and learning, I shouldn't be doing that, I shouldn't be doing that, I shouldn't be doing that. And then once you renew your mind, why? Because your mind before had Christmas on it, Easter on it, birthdays on it. And that's what you would do. So now with the new knowledge that you're learning and the renewing of your mind, you have to be transformed, meaning you have to apply what you're learning, man. You have to apply everything you've been taught. Read on.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and a perfect will of God.
And by you doing that, you're Back in. All right then. Yeah, we're back. Let's hope the feed stays this time. So we was in Romans 12 and 2. We're gonna drop that. We're gonna go to Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 10. So we're gonna go to Proverbs 1 and 10.
Proverbs 1 and 10. My son, if sinners entice thee.
Because now sinners will try and entice you, especially if they know you personally. If they know that you used to smoke weed with them, when they come around you, they're going to entice you to smoke weed. If they know you used to be a thief, used to rob people, they're going to entice you to do all of those things. So the things that they're doing is going to start to conflict with what you want to do, because you want to do what? The will of God. And then they want to do the will of our oppressor, man. So sinners are going to entice and try and entice you. It happens all the time to say, yo, man, you've changed, man. Nah, man, you've gone soft. And then them telling you you've gone soft, you might, want to prove something and say, I ain't gone soft. Come on, then, let's go rob this car or whatever. If sinners entice thee, understand this. You know the way to eternal life, and they don't. They want to entice you to do evil. So what do you need to do? You need to stand on the Lord, man. And you need to get them to come over to your side, man. Instead of them pulling you over to their side, why don't you pull them over to your side? Imagine they don't even believe in the God of heaven and earth, man. They ain't got the answers to life. But imagine they're strong enough to get you to smoke weed again, man. They're strong enough to get you to take drugs again and go to the strip club again. Whereas you've got the living God on your side, man. You should use that to pull them over your side. How about you use it to pull them over to your side to where they don't smoke weed no more, man. They don't take drugs no more. They ain't going strip clubs no more. You use the strength that you have to pull them on the right path instead of letting them use their strength to pull you on the wrong path, man. Instead of sinners enticing you to do evil, man, how about you make them do right, man? They tell you, listen, when you go to them before they tell you, oh, yeah, come, let's go get some weed. You say to them, yeah, class, come, let's go class at 7 o'clock, man. You say that to them, let's be at class at 7 o'clock. Before they can even say to you, come, let's go get some weed. Because you know that's what they're going to say to you. So you say to them, yeah, come, man, we're going class at 7 o'clock. Come, man, let's go. The same way they want to force you to smoke weed, you force them to come to class. Come, man, let's go to class, man. Yeah, come, let's go. And then before you know it, they will either come to shut you up, or they will even not want to be around you. Same way with them. You will either stop being around them because they're sinners trying to entice you. So you'll either stop going around them, or you're going to give in and go with them, man. How about you tell them, come to class, and make them give in and come to class with you, man. Read on.
Consent thou not.
So if sinners entice thee, consent thou not, man. Why? Because you know what a sinner is. You know the ending of a sinner. So don't let them entice you. You know that you have the keys to eternal life, man. You know the way to eternal life. Whereas they don't. Sinners don't know, man. All they know is to live, to live and rob and be happy and to fulfill their lusts. That's all they know. Fulfill their lusts until they die, man. Whereas I can keep the laws of God, man. I can raise my nation. I can get eternal life. Because you've got the answers. Whereas they don't. Read on.
Verse 11. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
And that's what people do, man. Come with us, let us lay wait for blood. That's what people do, man. They go out, man, in cars. Drive-by shootings is them what? Laying wait for blood, man. Them robbing people for their nice things, man, is them laying wait for blood. Did you know that some people used to come outside secondary schools, man, to rob people, man? Their whole mission was every day, yeah, we rob them for their money. If someone entices you to do that, consent thou not, man. That's what a lot of people are doing. Oh, yeah, let's get our knives and go to the up block. They're laying wait for blood. You're meant to consent thou not, man. Because why? You don't want to go jail with them, man. It's called joint enterprise. You could be around someone. You don't stab the person, but they do. You're both going to jail for joint enterprise, man. They're trying you for the same charge that they're going to try him for. How about you don't you distance yourself from people like that, man? How about you say, you know what, I can't be around people like that because I ain't going to jail for some garbage, man, for something that don't make sense. Consent thou not, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna ruin their life and ruin yours in the process, man. So how about you just don't be around people like that? Read on.
Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
Listen, man, it's in the Bible, man. Niggas getting the drop on their ups, man. Let us lurk privily, man. You find out where they at. You wait outside in the car, man. As soon as they come out, you light them up, man. Let us lurk privily, man. And listen, man, there's even songs. Black people's got songs called lurking, man. Listen, man, you can't tell me we ain't the people of the Bible. We've always done this. We lurk for one another, man. We wait outside, find out where you are, find out your location, and then we pull up, man. We lurk and wait for you to come outside. These was lurking privily, man, for the innocent without cause. Read on.
Verse 12. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit.
It says, let us swallow them up alive, man. Read on.
We shall find all precious substance.
And listen, man, we shall find all precious substance, man. What's precious substance? The watch that you worked hard for, man. The chain that you worked hard for. The car that you worked hard for. The things in your house that you worked hard for. That's precious to you, man. All that precious substance that people are watching you and they're lurking privately saying, yo, have you seen what my man's got? We should rob him one day. And then they're calling other people on board. Yo, if we rob him, we'll split it. His watch is worth about 50 grand. There's 4 of us. If we rob it, we can split it, man. We can split that money, man. And so forth. Read on.
We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil.
And they will rob you and bring it to their house, man. One day you will see your TVs in somebody else's house, man. One day your house would get robbed and you'll be thinking, damn, where's my TV and my radio and so forth? And then one day you'll find that it's in somebody else's house. Usually when people's houses gets robbed, guess how it gets robbed? By someone you've brought into your house and they've told someone else what you have in there, man. You've been set up, man. Most people don't just break into a house randomly. Not nowadays, anyway. Nowadays, they've had the drop. They've had the drop that, yo, he's got this in his house. He works this time. He works at that time. And if you got friends in the world, you can barely trust them, man. Because they're watching you too. So they know what time you go to work. They'll ask you, oh, yeah. So what time are you working tomorrow? You just think it's nothing of it. You say, oh, yeah, I got a 12-hour shift tomorrow. As soon as you're at that shift, they're robbing your house, man. They're robbing your house. And when you tell them about it, you're going to be like, oh. No, you're going to be like, oh, my house got robbed. And I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Meanwhile, they set it up, man. This is why in this day and age, man, once upon a time, you could bring everyone into your house and, but now you have to be very careful who you let know where you live, who you let know what you got in your house, because people get you robbed and so forth. People get your house robbed. People that you thought, wouldn't do those things. So you always have to be careful. Read on.
Just to add on to that, in the world, of course, a friend of mine, he openly admitted that he robbed his best friend's house. Said that like his friend in the world he sold weed, and he knew where it was in his house. So they both left the house at the same time. As he went on the bus, he went back and he broke in through the back door, robbed all the weed. Then when he came back, the friend, he was the first person that he called as well, and he pretended like he didn't know.
See, there you go, man. And that's what happens in the world, man. People betray you. Whereas in here, guess why no one will never rob your house in here? Why? Because it's unlawful, man. Everybody in here has the same common goal, that we all want to serve the Lord and we want to keep the laws of the Most High. So no one in here would rob you, man. Like in here, you can leave money, you can leave your phone, you can come back and it's still there. Why? Because everyone in here serves the Lord. Whereas outside there, not everyone serves the Lord, man. The reason why you can leave all your things in here, why? Is because of brotherhood. And we all fear the Lord. Whereas outside there, they don't fear the Lord enough not to rob you, man. They don't fear the Lord enough not to kill you, so they will do those things. Whereas in here, we won't, man. This is why everybody should be in here, or everybody should learn the truth, man. That way, our nation will do what? Stop killing one another. Because then you will look at a black man's life as it's more than just, you know, a postcode. It's more than just anything. Because we look at other people's, our brothers' lives like it means nothing. We look at their life how the white man looks at all of our lives, man. It was them who started killing us like we was nothing. And then now we see another black man and treat him like he's nothing. We kill him, he kills us, and it keeps going on, man. Why? Because we look at each other like we are nothing. Whereas if we knew that we was royalty, man, maybe we would treat each other better, man. If we knew that what? We ran countries and kingdoms and was kings and so forth, we would what? Treat each other better, man. If we understood that we do the real royal family, man, we would treat each other better. But because we're not aware of those things, what do? We harm one another. We kill one another. Why? Because of a lack of understanding. We just think we're slaves. We're here to pick cotton. Our life is meant to stay on the plantation. So who cares if I die? Like we just look at it like, you know what? My life's hard. I'm just here to pick cotton. I'm here to be on the plantation all day. Who cares if I die? That's how we look at life. When really, we ain't supposed to look at life like that, man. We're supposed to look at each other like, damn, this is my brother, man. We've never exchanged words, but we have the same forefathers, so we're relatives, we're brothers. If we looked at it like that, every argument we have, it wouldn't involve us pulling out a knife. We would deal with each other with dignity, with respect. We would speak about our problems instead of fighting and going to war and knives and guns. We would speak to one another, man. And if we don't like each other, all we do is just keep our distance. Like you do know, if there's brothers you don't like, you just keep your distance, man. You don't need to kill nobody. You don't need to wipe them off the earth. What's the need, man? That's extreme. You don't need to wipe them off the earth. How about you two just cross over the road when you see each other, man? It's that simple. If you don't like each other, one man goes that way, the other man goes that way. It's pretty simple. But what do? Have to kill each other. Take it extra personal. When we all could live, one man just goes over there, one man just goes over there. It's that simple. That's all, man. Now, I was saying you have to get on with everybody. No, man. Because obviously there's going to be some people whose personality you clash with. There's tons of people you're going to clash with. But you don't need to kill them. You don't need to harm them. All you do is they go over there, you go over there. Listen, man. I got a cousin, man, and we can only tolerate each other for 10 minutes, man. We can only tolerate each other for 10 minutes, man. We say hello to each other and, you know, speak for 10 minutes. Then after that 10 minutes, I go over there. She goes over there, man. Because we can only stand each other for 10 minutes. Now, we don't need to harm each other and, you know, kill each other and none of that stuff. There's people you're not going to click with. It's just life. But read on.
How spoil? Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse.
Cast in thy lot amongst us, man. That's what people do, man. They all come together in the name of wickedness, man. They all come together. They all plan it together, man. They all say, yo, if we do this, we'll split it afterwards, man. If you're part of the crime, they say, you know what? If we all run up in there and rob it, we'll split it evenly, man. They cast in their lot. Say, yo, they sit down, they plan it. They plan how much they're going to get out of it. They plan how they're going to distribute it. And listen, man, in the world, what usually happens is, man, the guy who's the strongest out of all you takes most of it, man. Takes most of it. And then you can't say nothing, man. Because he don't even do things fair. He takes most of it anyway. You're just there. And you do the hard work with him. And he don't even give you a fair cut, man. Like, listen, man. You're wasting your time, man. Read on.
My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path.
And it says refrain thy foot from their path. That's what we do in here, man. We refrain our foot from the path of the world, man. And this is why nobody likes us, man. Because we refrain our foot from their path. We ain't going to do no evil. We ain't gonna go kill no black man for no reason. We ain't gonna go harm nobody for no reason, man. We ain't gonna go ruin someone's life and do harmful things to someone. We ain't gonna go sell no one crack and heroin and why not and nothing, man. We refrain from their path. Meanwhile, people in the world want us to do those things, man. The police want us to sell heroin, man. Why? So they can come and lock us up. So they be laying wait, man. Especially if in the truth they want you to step a foot out of line, man. So they can do what? Put you in the papers and write in there, black extremist Hebrew Israelite arrested for blah 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 blah. They can't wait to do that, man. They can't wait to do that. Like they'll be watching you, man, saying, waiting for you to mess up. And cause you ain't messing up, they can't stand it, man. Because they want to put you in the papers to say, see, we told you so. Them Hebrew Israelites is this and the blah 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 blah. Obviously, don't give them that benefit of the doubt, man. Refrain from their path, man. Wouldn't surprise me if the police try to pay off your old friends to get you back on the old path, man. Wouldn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me with Esau no more, man. Read on.
Refrain the foot from the path, for their feet run to evil.
For their feet run to evil. Whenever they see something evil, they're there, man. Meanwhile, they should be running to class. They should be running to serve the Lord, but their feet run to evil. Whatever's evil, you'll find our people there, man. Whatever's evil and popping, you'll find our people there. Like the strip club, it's evil, man. Why? Because you got men's daughters swinging on the pole, man. You got young girls swinging on the pole and old men there looking at them and so forth. You got women naked swinging on the pole. You got men throwing money at them. The strip club is evil, man. Go ahead.
And make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
Listen, man, they make haste. It's like, what verse was you at?
Verse 16 and 17.
So it says, for their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. And this is why so much of us die, man. Because we in a haste to shed blood over any little incident. A 14-year-old boy got killed. When was it? 2 days ago? A 14-year-old got killed 2 days ago, man. A little 14-year-old black boy, man. Looked like a baby, man. They released this picture today. 14 is what? 4 years away from 10, man. Do you know how young that is? Now, our oppressors, they don't go through these things, man. No other race goes through these things. Imagine getting the call that your 14-year-old child has been stabbed through the heart, man, and died on the road, man. Died on the street. Imagine getting that call, man. We need to do better as a people. But what happens? We enticed by sinners and we in haste to shed blood. And I guarantee you, the people that killed him, in their mind, they're probably thinking, oh, we didn't mean to kill him. We just wanted to poke him. Not realizing when you stab someone, every time you pull out your knife, man, you could kill someone. No matter where you stab them, all it takes is for you to hit an artery or a vein or something, and you're going to kill them. But most people don't know most people don't even know where the arteries are, where the veins are, where the tendons are. Most people don't know, man. Most people don't know. But you just poke your knife in someone, and then afterwards you're surprised that people die so easily. By then it's too late, man. Why? Because our press is giving out life sentences, man. You realize 5 years down the line, you know what? I shouldn't have done it, man. Maybe I could have, had a family now. Maybe I could have been living my life now. But now I'm sitting in jail for the next 30 years because I was in a haste to shed blood. The Lord's putting these things in the Bible so you don't have to end up going to jail for 30 years and realizing, man. These things is written in the Bible so you don't have to learn the hard way. So you don't have to go to jail for 30 years before you realize maybe I shouldn't have done that. So you don't have to go. Most of these scriptures is written so our women don't have to become whores. So then until they realize 10 years down the line, you know what? I should have just been with one man. The Lord puts all these things in the Bible, in the book of Proverbs and so forth, these wise sayings, so we can read them and learn from them. If we learn from this, that 14-year-old boy would be alive, man.
It's like just to add on to that as well. And it's heavy that you said that, because on so many prison documentaries or prison programs you watch, the people that are locked up, they all say the same thing. If I could do it different, I would. If only I didn't get involved in this. If only I didn't go in that car. If only I didn't walk with that gun. If only I never got involved in a gang. And it's a sad cycle that we have where at the time you feel like it's the right thing to do. And once it's done and the demon leaves, you're like, shit, like, why did I do that? And now you're paying for that with the rest of your life behind bars.
Right. And then you want to make speeches to everyone. Oh, I wish I didn't do it. And it's mad because every gang member that you see wants to get older. What do they say? It's not worth it. Kids put the knives down, put the guns down. They realize 20 years later that this gang thing has produced nothing. Like, what you should do is you should look at them men and ask them, so what did being a gang member get you? And this is what they'll say to you. Every last one has the same story. I found out my friends was fake. When I was in jail, I was trying it with my woman. Listen, a lot of them find out that it's fake, man. Whereas if you listen to them now, you could avoid going in gangs, man. Now most of them, changed their life around. Obviously, they're not in the truth, but they've changed it. According to what the world would say, they're what, rehabilitated. They're a better person now, according to what the world would say. Because they're no longer, running around with guns and knives. Obviously, what they see as fixing the community, they're trying, but obviously it's not the truth, so it's not going to work. But in their mind, it's good for them. So they do that. Try and get children to change their lives. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. And cause what? Gang culture is heavy amongst us. Children is getting involved. Children is looking up to movie stars. Looking up to rappers, man. Your rapper that makes out like he's a big gangster, guess what? He's got a ton of security, man. You don't have that security. Imagine these rappers that you're looking up to, man, go everywhere with security because they're scared, man. They go everywhere with security. All these rappers, which rapper thinks they're a gangster today?
6ix9ine.
Yeah, 6ix9ine running his mouth, but got a ton of security, man. All of them rappers run their mouth, but got tons of security. And the ones that don't have security, what happens? They end up getting killed, man. And the ones that do have security, secretly, they're upset. You know why? Because they can't afford to keep paying the security. Do you know how expensive it is to have 24-hour security? They have security at their house, have security in cars with them. Whereas they're rapping like they're hardcore, and then you start to try and be like them. And then what happens? You ain't got no security, man. You ain't got money for 24-hour security. People know where your mom lives. Stop taking the internet seriously, man. Instagram and these rap songs, don't take them serious, man, because none of them ain't real gangsters. Go ahead.
And also, again, what you said, it's heavy because even in Brum, what's that rapper's name? I'm Mowgli. Mowgli. His own friends robbed him. Right. And when people ask him why, he's like, because he doesn't live this life, man. He's just a rapper. He goes, we're putting in all the work and he's writing the songs, and his friends felt a type of way like, nah, man, like he's got all this money and it's us that are basically on the front line and he's not.
See, and I remember there was a nice chain they robbed of him, man. They're saying that he's rapping all this gangster stuff and he's not doing it. And that's most people, like, because we live in Birmingham, we know the rappers in Birmingham don't do what they rap about, man. We know it firsthand that all of them in Birmingham that rap about guns and being gangsters, some of them we know personally, man, and they ain't doing none of that. But people outside of the city will think, you know what? This person's hardcore and this and that, when they ain't really doing that, man. Some of them we've known for years, been to school with, been around, and they ain't doing what they rap about. But kids believe they're actually doing what they rap about, and it's not the case, man. But we're going to drop that. We're going to go to 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Also, any questions, just type them in.
First John 2 and 15. Love not the world.
It says what?
Love not the world.
It says love not the world And in the I.S.U.P.K, we don't love the world, man. Because loving the world means what? You have to, you conform to it. Whereas the last verse said, be not conformed to this world. So how do you not be conformed to it? By not loving it, man. By not loving everything your oppressor gives you. That's what we need to do. Stop loving everything that he gives us, man. Because what he's giving us is harmful. Christmas is harmful, man. I'm going to tell you why Christmas is harmful. Why? Because families don't really love each other, man. Christmas Day starts off good. It starts off good until everybody's had a few beers. And then you find out who doesn't like who. You find out who can't stand who, man. You find out who hates who. You find out all these things, man. It says love, not the world. But we've been taught to love this world. So for most people, I can't even say it's just you. We've been taught to love this world. And this is why the I.S.U.P.K is here to teach you not to love this world, man. Read on.
Neither the things that are in the world.
It says neither the things that are in the world. And what's in the world, man? Everything our oppressor tries to give us, man. Weed, drugs, become the biggest drug dealer. Everybody thinks they're gonna become what's his name, Freeway Ricky. Yeah. And I'm sure he's lost all his money now. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. He was a big drug dealer, man. And this is what happens now. There's a thing, I don't know if it's everywhere, but in the UK, you could be selling, let's say you sell drugs and let's say you make 300 grand. Once they find out how much money you've made off drugs, guess what? You have to pay it all back, man. You have to pay it all back. So you could be living lavish now, but understand this: when they do catch up with you, you're paying all that back, or you have to do a few extra years in jail. And this is what every drug dealer will tell you: I'd rather be broke and free than be rich and in jail, man. Honestly, that's what they all say. So the fast life seems good, but the fast life doesn't last forever. The fast life seems fun. Like, you may look at men with all the women and all the nice cars, but understand this: it's not going to last, man. You know why it's not going to last? Because it tells you that in the Bible, man. It tells you that this world will pass away, which means what? Everything you're doing which goes against God, there's going to come a time when you won't be able to do that no more, man. There's going to come a time where you're going to be punished for all the crimes you've committed against the Lord. You ain't going to be able to selling heroin and cooking up drugs and so forth and whatnot. And it's mad how when people write articles about us, they don't ever write in these articles that what? We tell black people stop selling drugs. They don't ever put in there that we tell black people stop taking drugs. They don't ever put in there that we tell black people to love one another. Why? Because when your enemy puts out a narrative against you, he's never going to put out the truth, man. He's going to put out lies and propaganda and stuff that he wants people to look at you and see you as harmful. It's just how it goes, man. This is why. If there's any news reporters online watching, you get in contact with the school, man. Let's do a sit-down interview, read on. Sometimes you'll be reading stuff and you're thinking, huh? That ain't true, man. People be coming to us at camp, making up lies, man. Saying, oh, use like this, use like that. And of course, none of it's true. And of course, you being in contact with the school, you know it's not true. This is why so much people come here and most people's got the same story. I didn't know use like with this welcoming. I didn't think use like with this brotherly. Based on stories that have been told, which ain't true, man. Listen, man, we love blacks and Hispanics, man. We got a food drive where we send barrels abroad to Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad, and so forth, man. Barrels get sent, man. Why? Because even though we've never met brothers from them places, there are brothers at the end of the day, man. And we feed them. Why? Because no one else is feeding them. No one else is taking care of them. So we take care of them. Why? Because they are our brothers, man. And because we're in not the best position, but because we're in somewhat of a better position than some of our brothers, we use that position to help them out, man. Like, we don't use that position to say F you broke niggas. That's what they do in the world, man. That's what they do in the world. They use the better position that they have to say F you broke niggas, go get your money up. Whereas we use this position that we have to help our brothers out, man. Send barrels, clothes, food. Whereas outside of these doors, everyone's like, F these broke niggas, get your money up. You man, if you there was a song where it goes, if you can't make 100 grand in 100 days, kill yourself. I was like, well, damn. Then we all need to kill ourselves if that's the case. Imagine you meant to make 100 grand in 100 days. That's what a grand a day. Well, damn. So we must kill ourselves because what? We don't make 100 a grand a day. Listen, man. These musicians is pathetic. These musicians is pathetic, man. So because you don't make a grand a day, you must kill yourself. Now, what do you think happens when little boys hears those songs? They'd be like, well, I need to make make a grand a day, or I'm worthless. What happens when you think women hear these songs? They'd be like, well, if my man ain't making a grand a day, this man's useless. So then in order for you to get the woman, you now need to make a grand a day to get this woman that when you go to jail, she's going to cheat on you anyway, man. So you put yourself in jail trying to get this 100 grand based off listening to a rap song and based off trying to impress a woman. Now you end up in jail, man. And she's gone with somebody else. Listen, man. Honestly, you come in the I.S.U.P.K and get a woman that loves you for you, man. Not for your bank account. Not for your wallet. Not for how much money, man. A woman that loves you for you, man. Whether you're rich or poor. That's what love is, man. She loves you whether you're rich or poor. Not what you bring to the table, man. Not the money that you can provide. Because listen, I've seen it happen a ton of times where what? Women is living off their man who happens to be making money off criminal activity. And something happens to him. Like there's one brother, he passed away. And the woman was living off him. Guess what happened when he passed away? Her lavish lifestyle stopped, man. Her lavish lifestyle stopped. She couldn't keep the car no more. She couldn't keep the house no more. Because why? The man that was making the money passed away, man. Meanwhile, she was living lavish, all the handbags and so forth. Listen, man, this fast life always comes to an end, man. This is why you should what? Come in the I.S.U.P.K and trust in the Lord, because the Lord will never come to an end, man. Whereas everything else has an expiration date, man. It expires over time. Read on.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
So you can't love the world and the Most High. Why? Because what this world has to offer is everything that goes against the Lord, man. Their feast days go against his feast days. Their moral standard goes against his moral standard. Their code of conduct goes against his code of conduct, and so forth. So the two don't go together, man. You either love one or the other. Either you love the world, and if you don't love the world, then you love the Lord, man. Because by you loving the Lord means what? You hate the world, man. When they say hate the world, not as in you hate everyone and everything that moves. We're talking about you don't do Christmas, you don't do Easter, you don't do all these things that they want you to do. Why? Because you love the Lord, man. So you have to do what the Lord wants you to do. And it's pretty simple, man. Everything you do, you just think, is this, what am I doing? Is this of the world or is this of the Lord, man? Any decision you make, you just be like, well, is this of the Lord or is it of the world? Think, man. Why? Because the two is total opposites. Everything in life that you do, man, is either right or wrong, man. There's no in between. Everything you do could either be okay to do, could be wrong to do. Now the Bible says where there's no law, there's no sin. So certain things you can do, like for instance, if you want to go to the club, of course you can go to the club, man. Of course you can go. Now, obviously, you don't want to go there and be behaving like a drunkard, though. But of course you can go there, man, and nod your head to the music, man. Of course you can. Oh, you know, you can go there, nod your head to the music, go to the bar. That's fine, man. But the strip club you can't go to, you know why? Because the Bible says there shall be no whores of the daughters of Zion, man. And in the strip club is what? Whores swinging up and down a pole for money. Let me read on real quick. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh. Everything that's in the world is what? The lust of the flesh, Meaning you lust for these worldly things, man. And you be doing some disgusting things to get those things. You be giving your body in exchange for a handbag. So you mean to say a handbag is worth more than what's in between your legs? The lust of the flesh, man. That's all in the world. So you'll be having sex with a man because you want a Gucci bag. Meanwhile, your body should mean more to you than the Gucci bag. That's right. Your body should mean more to you than a Birkin bag. I mean, a man be selling drugs because he wants a Mercedes. Your brother's life should mean more to you than your brother's life should mean more to you than the Mercedes, man. One sec.
Where are we? 2:16.
2:16.
All right. First John 2:16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes.
It says all that's in the world is the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes. Meaning you see things and you like it, it looks nice, and you think, I have to have it. Now, if there's a handbag you like, of course you can have it, but it's what are you going to do to get it? Don't do nothing filthy that goes against the Lord to get it, man. You just work for it. Of course, it's okay to have a nice car, because why? We're Israel, man. We like nice things. But then you shouldn't be serving no brother drugs for you to get that nice car. How about you work or just get a PCP or whatever and so forth? Go ahead.
I got a question on a breakdown of Isaiah 5:20. Is this precept related to Psalms 119? How sweet are your words to taste? Is this referring to a teaching and how lies are bitter?
Do you know what verse? Free thinkers, can you give me the exact verse so we can go to it? What's Isaiah 5:20? Woe for light and light for dark. No, they call light evil and good. Yeah, I believe that's to the law and to the testimony. I believe that's Isaiah 5:20, right? Yes, like it's 8:20. 5:20 is woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Yeah, I'm sure it's that one. Free thinkers, just give me the exact verse, and I'll see. And we can go to Isaiah 5:20 if you want us to go to that one.
Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good.
It says, woe unto them that call evil good. Now, woe means destruction, and you get destroyed for what? Doing evil. So people calling evil good, they're going to be destroyed. Why? Because this world makes out like evil is good. Like now, being a drug dealer is good. Now, being a stripper is good. Now, if you now dressing like a whore is good. If you say, I'm not dressing like that because that's a whore's attire, now people look at you like you're the evil one. Look at you, you're dressing like a grandma. Look at you. Ha ha ha. She doesn't show none of her skin. Look how she's dressed up. She's dressed like a grandma. A man that don't sell drugs. Look at him. He's working 9 to 5. He's broke, man. Look at his car, man. His car's old, man, and dusty. Because why? They call evil good. Read on.
And good evil.
And they call good evil. So now, you wanting to serve the Lord, they call that evil, man. They say, oh, why are you following the old-fashioned book? You don't eat pork. That's old, man. You should eat pork. They call good evil. They call you all sorts of names, man. Now, in here, in the I.S.U.P.K, we do good, and people call us evil, man. Whereas everybody out there committing all criminal activity, they're looked at as good. They're looked at as good who help out the community and so forth. I swear those people saying that John Gotti was a good man, right? Those people saying John Gotti was a good man, how John Gotti helped the poor. And listen, man, they only done most of those things. So when they did go to jail, usually would come out and protest, man. Like now people call them gangsters good. But now, Black men that stand up for their nation, which is really good, they now call them bad. They make it like it's an evil thing for you to stand up for your nation. They make it like it's an evil thing for you to gather with your nation. Whereas what they consider good is you joining the Christian church, you eating pork, you loving everybody, you kissing 1,000,000 frogs until you find your prince. That's what's considered good now. What's considered good now is you ruling over your man not being able to tell you what to do. That's what's considered good. Because now when a man rules over his woman and tells her, yo, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, guess what they say? He's controlling, man. He's got low self-esteem. He's got no self-esteem whatsoever. Meanwhile, what he's doing is good. The reason why he's telling his woman, you're not going to them places, you're not doing those things is why? Because he doesn't want her to be like every other woman, man. He don't want her to be like Cardi B. He don't want her to be like Sweetie and them, man. He don't want her to be like these women sleeping around and having 1,000,000 affairs and whatnot. Because he loves them, man. But now that's considered evil. Did the sister get which one did she want? The next one?
No. Okay. I think in Psalms 119, when it says that how sweet are thy words in thy mouth, she wants to know if that's talking about the lies, the sweet and bitter part of Psalms 119.
Do you know what the verse is? Whilst I'm going to find the exact verse. Let me see if we can find it. Let me see if we can find this. To be fair, you could use it like that because lies, like. Then again, you need to find me the exact verse because context is key. Because there's also a precept which says the word was bitter in their mouth in Revelations. So, you got it.
Psalms 119 and verse 72.
This one got so much verses in there. 72.
The law of thy mouth is better. No, I thought it was bitter. So unto me than the thousands of gold and silver.
And the law is better than thousands of gold and silver. You know why? Because with the law, you keep the law, you're going to live. Whereas you can have gold and silver, but if you're breaking God's laws, you're going to die. And that silver and gold is going to be useless to you, man. But when the sister gives us the verse, we'll come back to it because I can't.
All right, I got one from James of Judah. If you want one as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Daniel 7 and 9 saying that the Most High has a physical body as it describes him sitting down and with hair texture in Daniel's vision? Do I have the correct understanding?
Yes, it does have a physical body. If you go to Daniel 7 and 9, there's one way it describes his garment as well, right?
Yeah, that's in Isaiah.
Is it Isaiah? There's one way it describes his garment and whatnot. But I think what people get it mixed up with is they go to, is it John where it says the Lord is spirit? So people go to that one and say the Lord is, whatnot. And there's a next verse where it says no man can see his face and live.
Yeah.
Do you know where that one is as well?
Exodus.
Yeah, we're gonna get a few for you.
All right, so let's get Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
And the what?
Ancient of Days did sit.
And the Ancient of Days did sit. The Ancient of Days is the Most High. It says Ancient of Days. Why? Meaning the Most High was here before Days was here, man. That's what it calls him, the Ancient of Days. Go ahead.
Whose garment?
Whose what?
Whose garment?
So now, whose garment, which is clothes, you wear garment. Why? Because you have a body and whatnot. So it says whose garment. Go ahead.
Was white as snow.
And it says his garment was white as snow. So he's seen in his vision a white garment. Go ahead.
And the hair of his head.
And the what?
The hair of his head.
He had what?
Hair of his head.
So he's seen hair on his head also. Go ahead.
Like the pure wool.
He had hair like the pure wool, like we have. Go ahead.
His throne was like the fiery flame.
His throne was like the fiery flame. So his throne was like a throne of fire. Go ahead.
And his wheels as a burning fire.
As burning fire. Then it goes on to describe the throne as a fiery stream, meaning fire. It's like fire's coming from the throne and so forth. Is there a next one where it says, hold on, let me see if there's a next one.
We think that spirits are small, but spirits have shoulders up.
Yeah, I think because what it is, I think most people go to John and believe. Put it this way: Christianity makes you believe that we're going to get you a next one as well. Let me see if I can find the next one as well. Go ahead. One second, let me just pull up a next one for you. Hold on one second. Yeah, go ahead. We're going to get you the one in Exodus also. So with Daniel 7 and 9, it's right. The Lord does have a body. But I'm trying to find another precept that I used to go to in the same thing. Hold on one second. And also, there's a next one as well. When you remember when I remember General Famgobar broke it down before. You know when there's a next one where Moses saw the Lord's backward parts. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Where Moses saw the Lord's backward parts.
Exodus 33 and 18.
Is it that one? Is it that one or a different one? So there's one when Moses saw the Lord's backward parts, but why he couldn't see his face? Why? Because no one can't see the face of the Lord and live. But
yeah, got it.
You got it. All right.
Exodus 33 and 18. He said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory.
And he wanted to see the glory of the Lord. Go ahead.
And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee.
Go ahead.
And will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show a mercy on whom I will show mercy.
So this is the Lord speaking to Moses. Go ahead.
And he said, thou canst not see my face.
Hey, they said they can't see what?
Canst not see my face.
So he goes, thou canst not see my face, which means he had a face. The previous verse said he had hair and he had a garment. Go ahead.
For there shall no man see me and live.
There shall no man see me and live. Now, if it was just like a spirit, like what this world believes, the people believe that a spirit is like what? Just a puff of smoke. Just a puff of smoke that you can't see. The Lord wouldn't say this to him, but read on. We're going to see what he said after this.
And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock, and it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cliff of a rock.
And glory means what? Goodness. Glory means goodness. So and so forth. Go ahead.
And will cover thee with my hand while I pass by.
So Moses is going to see him pass by, but Moses ain't going to see his face. Read on.
And I will take away my hand.
So as he's going past, it was to cover Moses' face, so Moses couldn't see him passing. So his hand was there, then it was to take it away as he was going past. Go ahead.
And thou shalt see my back parts.
Thou shalt what?
See my back parts.
And he had a back, what the garment went on in the book of Daniel. So he says, thou shalt see my back parts. Go ahead.
But my face shall not be seen.
So yeah, he had a body, but because of Christianity, we believe he doesn't have a body. I mean, how do we know he had a body? Because why? Also, in the heavens, the angels have bodies also. The angels have bodies. The 42 elders before the throne, they have bodies. Whereas it's a Christian concept that when you die, you float off to heaven and you don't have a body. So that's where that comes from. Because our whole life, we've been taught that, you know, you die, your body goes into the ground, and then you become like a little ball of smoke and you go to heaven and you're moving around invisible, and everything up there is invisible, when really it's not invisible. The angels have bodies also. And this is why when angels appeared to men, they had bodies. Also, when with David, when David sinned against the Lord and he looked in the sky, he saw the angel swinging the sword and whatnot. He saw the angel plaguing them and whatnot. So the angels have bodies also. And the Lord does that answer your question? Go ahead. Was he going to say?
The verse in Psalms. Psalms 119 and 103.
Psalms 119 and go ahead.
Psalms 119, 103. How sweet are thy words unto my taste, yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth.
Yeah, basically saying the words of the Most High are sweet, and he's going to clear it up in the next verse. Read on. This is why they're sweet to his mouth.
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
And it's sweet, man. Why? Because through his precepts he gets understanding. So he's giving a comparison, because at that time, what was sweet to them? Honey. Like back then, they used to use honey as sugar, whereas now, obviously, you got granulated sugar. They're sweetener back then. I believe poor people sweetener back then was honey as well, right?
Yeah.
So poor people sweetener back then was honey. So he said it's like
no, sorry. It was only for rich people because honey was hard to get.
Oh, was it?
A sweetener for rich people was honey because it was hard to get.
Yeah, so a sweetener for rich people was lucky, not for poor people. Sweetener for rich people was honey. So he's saying these words are sweet like honey is just, you know, comparing it, saying, yo, the words are sweet like honey. Why are these words sweet? Why? Because it brings you peace. It helps you out in situations. It comforts you. It's sweet. It doesn't literally mean that these words is sweet, but it's saying it's sweet like honey. He's comparing it to one to the other. Because why? Honey is sweet to taste, and these words is sweet knowing what? You know what's sweet? Knowing there's a kingdom that awaits you, man. That's sweet to know. You know what's sweet to know? Knowing our oppressor's going in slavery, man, and you're going to rule the earth. These words is sweeter than honey. So that's all it means there. That's like this is there.
Thank you. I would also like Psalms 25 and 12. How does it describe a teachable heart? Can I have the Oxford definition and context afterwards? Is this related to a marriage being unequally yoked?
Psalms. So what does she want?
Psalms 25 and 12.
All right, then let's go to that one.
Psalms 25 and 12. What man is he that feareth the Lord?
Go ahead.
Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose.
So yeah, basically what this is saying is a man that fears the Lord, that's who he's going to teach. And the fear of the Lord is what? The beginning of wisdom. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. This right here has nothing to do with being understandable heart or unequally yoked. The two have nothing to do with each other. This is just talking about read it again, verse 12.
Psalms 25 and 12. What man is he that feareth the Lord?
So it says, for what man is he that feareth the Lord? Go ahead.
Him shall he teach in the way.
So a man who fears the Lord, that's who the man will teach. That's who will be taught. A man who fears the Lord will end up in this classroom, so forth. A man who fears the Lord will contact the school because he knows destruction's coming. That's a man who will be taught. But a man who's proud and don't fear the Lord and wants to do his own thing, he won't be taught. What else did the sister say on that? And that's got nothing to do with being unequally yoked. But what does she want the definition of? Teachable heart. Nah, I don't think you teachable heart. That's I ain't seen that in the scriptures. If you got a scripture that goes with it, send us the scripture. We'll go to it for you. But I've never come across anything that says a teachable heart. Where was we? It was in oh yeah, we can go to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. If you got any more questions, just type them in. And James, just let us know if that answered your question. Also, under does the Most High have a body or not?
Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep among wolves.
And Christ said what? He sends us forth as sheep amongst wolves. And that's us in here, man. Sheep are harmless. And what do wolves do? Wolves harm sheep. So wolves harm sheep. And the sheep are harmless. That's us. So we're sheep amongst wolves. Go ahead. Meaning everybody's out to harm us. We go to camp, people to throw things at us, people to shout at us, swear at us. And we sheep amongst wolves, man. We're harmless. We ain't out there to harm nobody. We're just out there to speak the words of the Lord. Go ahead.
Be ye therefore wise as serpents.
And so when we're out there, we have to be wise as serpents. Why? Because we're sheep amongst wolves, and sheep is harmless, and wolves do the harm. So we have to be wise as serpents. And what do serpents do? Serpents, they get on their tail and they attack at the right time, man. They defend themselves at the right time. We have to be wise as serpents. Serpents are wise, man. When serpents see danger, they're all over it, man. So we harmless, but we have to be wise as serpents, and we will defend ourselves if we have to. And it's wise of us to do that, man. We don't harm no one. We mind our business. People come to us until they realize these men is wise, and if we have to do anything, we can be wise as serpents, and we scan the area and see if okay, then we need to go to ground or whatnot, which will, you'll learn that in Hebrew Academy. Read on.
And harmless as doves.
And harmless as doves. Why? Because doves can't harm no one. Doves is just like what? A cute little bird that everyone loves, man. A cute little bird that everyone loves. We have to be harmless as those, man. A dove can't do no harm to a wolf, man. There's no way a dove could take a wolf, man. We go out there harmless as doves, meaning we in the midst of wolves, and we harmless as doves. We go out there with the word of the Lord, but we're also wise as a serpent when we're out there. Read on.
But beware of men.
But what?
Beware of men.
And this part's key. We have to be beware of men. Why? Because men will betray you, man. Men will set you up. Men will tell lies about you and so forth. Men will go against you. Why? Because they're Christians and you ain't a Christian. So your own family will betray you. Your own family will speak evil of you. Your own family will start saying, oh yeah, he's crazy, he's lost his mind, he's running around with a coat and so forth. Beware of men. Go ahead.
For they shall deliver you up to the councils.
Beware of men. They'll deliver you up to the councils, man. Go ahead.
And they will scourge you in their synagogues.
They'll scourge you in their synagogues. You know what? Someone asked me the other day, what's the difference between the synagogue and the temple? A synagogue is where the Jews would gather. So if they're all gathered in the house or whatever, they would just call it a synagogue. That's all it is. A synagogue is where everyone gathers, where all the Jews would gather. And then the temple is what? The one that, that the high priest would be in doing the sacrifices and so forth. So that's the difference between the two. So the two ain't really the same thing. But go ahead.
And ye shall be brought before governors.
And that's what people want to do. Bring you before governors today. They want to bring you before the police. They want to bring you before all these the governors. Tell lies, and you're talking about, oh, we don't want them on the corner no more. Do you know how much times Commanding General YAHANNA had to go to court because they say what, they're too loud on the corner? They say they're too loud on the corner. They're disrupting our shoppers. The thing is this, man. It's not disrupting the shoppers. If the shoppers don't want to listen, just go in the shop, man. It's that simple. How does it affect you? Listen, man. Do you know how much times we walk through town and the Muslims are playing their Arabian music, their Arab music, and we just walk on and mind our business, man. We don't ever say, oh, you know what? They're making me not want to come to the city no more. Like, but people do all these things. This way you have to be aware of, men, because they will want to deliver you up, man, to the governors. They want to take you to court and sue you and put you through all kinds of cases and try and get you off the corner. Why? Because what you're saying, it hurts their spirit, because they know what you're saying is true and they know their lifestyle's wrong. They know everything you're saying is the truth and everything that they're living is wrong. So they would rather you not be there because it condemns them. So they're thinking, if we get rid of him, maybe we will be less convicted. We'll feel less convicted. Go ahead.
And kings for my sake.
And they're taking you before governors and kings for Christ's sake, man. Because they think they love Christ, but really they hate Christ, man. That's why they're delivering you up. The same way they're delivering you up to the governors, the same way they're delivering you up to the kings and so forth, and the police, is the same way they would deliver Christ up if he was here, man. And you know how, you know it's true, because it's the same way Judas delivered Christ up, man. Judas also delivered Christ up, man. The same way people are going to try to deliver you up. What did Judas do? Went to the Romans and some of the priests and said, oh, the man that I salute, the man that I kiss is him. He delivered him up, man. Same way how people's going to deliver you up. Your mom's going to be phoning around mental hospital saying, I think my son's lost his mind, man. My son's running around with a coat. I think he needs his brain examined. These times, it's perfectly fine for the whole family to get high, man. No one questions that. Everyone's questioning why you don't want to get high. You're the mad one because you don't want to get high. It makes no sense, man. But the thing is this, all of them are mad, but because they all conform to this world, they don't see that they're all sick. They don't see that they're all ill. You're the only one who's not sick. And when you're the only one who's not sick and everyone else is sick, they start to look at you like, well, what's wrong with him? When really they need to be more like you instead of you being more like them. But go ahead.
for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak.
So once they deliver you up, man, if you ever have to deal with the police or whatnot, you don't need to write down no script, man. You don't need to write down no script of I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this. Why? Because the Lord's with you, man. You will go there and the Lord will speak on your behalf, man. You'll be saying things that you didn't even plan to say, man. It's like when we go out to camp, man, we don't rehearse it. You know, we probably line up the precepts, say, you know what, I'm going to go over this topic. And then when you go there, like sometimes at camp, when you ain't done camp for ages, or when your first time at camp, you might be a little nervous. Listen, I'm telling you, because we got some brothers, officers gonna be speaking at camp soon, man. First time you go up, before you go up, you might feel a bit nervous, but guess what happens? As soon as you put 2 feet on that podium, the nerves go. Before you know it, you're blazing, and then a brother in the back saying, "All right, your time's done," and you're thinking, "Damn, already." And you know, at first you're nervous and you're thinking, "How am I going to do this? Speak in front of all these people?" And then when you do it, it's like, no way. And listen, no word of a lie, it helps. You see, like what I've realized is being in the truth helps with your everyday personal life, man. It helps. It teaches you how to speak to people. It teaches you how to speak in interviews. You'll never be nervous for another interview, because imagine if you can speak in front of everybody in town. If you can speak in front of everybody in the city, you think you're going to be scared to speak in front of some devil that's just interviewing you for a job? You'll go there full of confidence, man. The truth helps with everything. Helps you speak better. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you conduct. Like the truth makes your life better off overall, man. Whereas you'll see that in here, brothers in here have great conduct. Brothers in here have great discipline. Read on.
For it shall be a given you in that same hour.
For it shall be given you in what?
In that same hour.
There you go, man. You don't need to write no script for the whole week, man. It's going to be given you in that same hour. Go ahead.
What ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak.
It says, for it is not ye that speak. So by you being stressed, what am I going to say? What am I going to say to this police officer? What am I going to say to these kings and these governors? Understand this, man. They're just men. And the Most High is with you, man. And the Most High is going to give you that mouthpiece to where you're going to confound them and they can't even say nothing back, man. To where you're going to speak so strongly that they're looking at you like, wow, damn, how's this man speaking so? Remember, at first, they're looking at you like, this is just a nigger. What does he know? And then when you start to speak, they're astonished, man. When Christ started to speak, they was astonished. They was like, how's this man so wise, having never read letters, man? Once Christ started to speak, man, Christ would cut everybody, and they was looking at him like, wow, damn, they couldn't catch. They tried to trap him in his words, and they couldn't, man. Why? Because he was skilled, man. He learned everything was skilled in the word of the Lord, man. Read on.
But the Spirit of your Father, which speaketh in you.
And the Lord will give you his spirit, man. You have the spirit of the Lord, man. And that's the Most High's words. Like when we at camp, we ain't speaking our words. We speaking the words of the Most High. Read on.
And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death.
And the brother would deliver up the brother to death. And that's what happens, man. Once you come into the truth, family forsake you. Family cut you off. Family no longer want to deal with you. Family don't speak to you no more. And you haven't done nothing wrong. All you've done is said, I don't want to be a Christian. All you've said is, I don't eat pork. I'm not coming around for Christmas. Meanwhile, your mom could be Christian and you could become Muslim and they accept you, man. Why? Because you all celebrate Christmas together. Because Muslims celebrate Christmas also. Because they're all Christians, man. They will accept you. You can do whatever. Your parents won't ever get rid of you and kick you out. You could start to say you're non-binary. You could be a man that says, I don't want to identify as a man no more. Your mom will still love you. But as soon as you say, I'm in the ISUPK and I've changed my life, everybody hates you, man. Your mom looks at you like she's ready to deliver you up to death. Why? Because they hate the truth, man. They hate Christ unknowingly. They think they love Christ, but according to the Bible, they hate him, man. Because if they loved him, they would love you who follow him. I mean, if they hate you for following your king, the reason they hate you is not because of you, it's because they hate your king also, man. You're following the Lord, so it means they hate the Lord, man. But they don't know that they hate the Lord. Why? Because they've been brainwashed in this place called England, man. They've been given Christianity and every other religion in this place, which teaches them anything outside of Christianity, anything outside of these religions is a hate group and is wrong and is this and is that. And your family won't do the research. They'll just hate you and say how you've gone crazy, how you've gone mad in the head, how you this and how you that. Read on.
To death, and the father, the child.
And the father, the child, man. The father will cut off the child, man. Nowadays, obviously, obviously, then again, who knows? The time might come where your parents might actually kill you for what you believe, man. But back then, they used to do it. Back then, if you weren't following whatever, you would die, man. If you didn't take on the mark of the beast, whatever, and refuse to be a Christian, they would kill you, man. You couldn't say, you know what, bun Christianity and this and that. Oh, and this is why, if you notice with your grandparents, they love Christianity, and then the Rastas came about in what, the 60s, the 50s. They came about, and they was like, bun Christianity. And what happened? Their parents cut them off, man. Their parents stopped talking to them. So what you will see is a lot of Rastafarian parents till this day, if their parents are still alive, they don't speak no more. Why? Because their parents was Christian, and these children became Rastafarians, and the parents in it, as they've become rebels, how dare they grow their hair and talk all this Rasta stuff, even though Rastafarianism is wrong. But the way they cut them off is letting you know that what we're reading right here ain't far-fetched, man. Because parents will cut you off for what you believe. Read on.
And the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death.
And the children shall rise up against their parents, man. Sometimes you get lunatics that what? Kill people in the name of religion, man. They kill people in the name of religion. Children rise against their parents and shall get them put to death, and so forth. Read on. Not our children, though. Why? Because we're raising them as UPK, man. We're raising them in the UPK. Go ahead.
And ye shall be hated of all men.
And ye shall be hated of all men. So understand this. This is why we say it's I.S.U.P.K against everybody. Because we hated by all men. Christians hate us. Muslims hate us. Atheists hate us. Imagine all of them don't like each other, but they all come together to hate us, man. You ask them who do they hate the most? Us. Imagine everybody's battling at Hyde Park. When we step in there, all of them come together to go against us, man. To battle us. Why? Because we hated of all men. Read on.
For my name's sake.
For what?
For my name's sake.
And we hated for Christ's name's sake. That's what we hated for, man. We hated for Christ's name's sake. They don't hate us because we're us. They hate us. Why? Because they hate Christ. Go ahead.
But he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
But what?
But he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
It says, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved, man. Meaning, you need to endure, and that's why the previous verse said, you shall be hated by all men for my name's sake. And that's why Christ said, he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Why? Because when you hated of all men, at times, some people feel like, you know what, I can't do this no more. Maybe I just want them all to love me again. Maybe if I just, you know what, stop doing what I'm doing and just start smoking again, they will all love me again. And that's why Christ said, you have to endure till the end. Why? Because before the end comes, what? You're gonna go through pressure. You're gonna go through the fire. You're gonna be tried, and you need to go through that fire, and you need to come out the other side. You need to be refined, man. So take these trials cheerfully, man. You go through them and be like, well, now's my. Every time you get a trial, man, you be like, well, now's my time to prove to the Lord that I'm not no punk, man. Now is my time for me to prove to the Lord that I'm gonna make it through the fire and come out the other side, man. Now's the time for you to say, you know what, all men hate me. I'm doing something right. I'm in the right place. If all men love you, clearly you do something wrong, man. If everyone in the world loves you, then you're doing something wrong. People are meant to look at you and be like, I can't stand them Israelites, man. I can't stand them Israelites. They think they know it all. Some of them come to camp and say, oh, you're not letting us speak. Get your own microphone, man. And the thing is this, we do let them speak and they always come with nonsense. They always take 10 minutes to get to their point. And we're like, go on, bring out your point. And listen, man, we know how it's going to go. Why? Because the Lord's with us, man. Go ahead.
And to add on to that, why would we let them speak when basically with the UK, they don't let the black men speak, man?
Right. Exactly.
Our voice, it never gets heard in the church, in the mosque. So now it's our turn to be heard.
Right.
So why would we let you speak right. when like all of England doesn't hear a black man's voice at all?
Right, exactly. Even when we at camp, they want to shut us up. Even at camp, they want to shut us up. I mean, a black man ain't running the mosque. A black man ain't running the church. And if a black man is running the mosque, guess who goes there? Just black people. No Arab would never sit under a black imam, man. They see the black imam as not an official imam. Even the black churches is what? Only black people that go there. Because the white man ain't sitting under a black man. Because he believes his position is above you. He believes his position is above you, man. Read on.
But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another.
So I said, when they persecute you in the city, why are they persecuting you? Why? Because you're there doing the work of the Lord, and they don't want to hear it. So they're shouting, boring, go home, do this, do that. Go ahead.
For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over all the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come.
Why? Because the cities of Israel is all over the globe, man. Meaning where Israelites are, we ain't gonna have gone over all them cities. So there's work to be done, man. Now, once upon a time, the UK wasn't gone over, man. Once upon a time, there was no I.S.U.P.K Brazil, there was no I.S.U.P.K Puerto Rico. Now, if brothers said, you know what, we've been doing this work and we've been persecuted, okay, let's just stop now. Guess what would happen? There'd be no I.S.U.P.K UK, man. There'd be no I.S.U.P.K Brazil. There'll be no I.S.U.P.K Puerto Rico. And now there's these places. Why? And soon, in the UK, man, Lord allow we get all of Europe, man. We ain't gone over all them cities, man. We ain't have gone over all them cities. So what? There's always going to be work to do, man. In the truth, we got what's the next European city which has got tons of black people there?
The Netherlands and Amsterdam.
I think France has
a Israelite community there as well. And believe it or not, even Germany has a Jamaican community there as well.
That's what I'm saying, man. We gotta go Germany, France, all them places, man. There's a few places in the Caribbean where we need to go, like what Suriname and so forth. That's right. Suriname and them places, man. We ain't gone over them cities. The time's coming though, man. Lord allow, we get all them cities, man. The whole UK and whatnot. Read on.
The disciple is not above his master.
Why? Because the disciple answers to the master. It's like you're not above your boss at work. That's what Christ is saying, man. Listen, man. The disciple ain't above the master. Christ is the master, and you ain't above him. So if they treated your master like garbage, what makes you think they're going to treat you good? They're going to treat you as bad or worse than they did your master. Read on. And they killed your master, man. So how you think they're going to treat you? Go ahead.
Nor the servant above his Lord.
Nor the servant above his Lord, man. Go ahead.
It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord.
Go ahead.
If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more?
Meaning they were saying that Christ was casting out demons with by using a demon and so forth. They were saying that Christ wasn't using the Spirit of the Lord. Christ was basically today they would call it what? Black magic. They say Christ witchcraft. They're saying Christ was using black magic and witchcraft and all those things. So they were saying Christ had it. They also said Christ was a glutton, a drunk, and had a demon on him and so forth. That's what they was calling. Listen, they was calling him all sorts of names, man. All sorts of names. Like while it is Christians read the Bible and they make it like you watch the movie, like you watch the movie Passion of the Christ and they make it like the demons attacking him is just a puff of smoke coming out of nowhere. When really, man, it was his own people, man, trying to attack him, trying to kill him, trying to take him, and so forth. Read on.
How much more shall they call them of his household?
So if they called Christ all those things, what do you think they're going to call those of his household? Who's of his household? Us, man. So don't be surprised when people start calling you out your name, calling you things that ain't true, calling you saying lies and so forth. It's going to happen, man. Why? Because they also told these lies on who? Your master. Read on.
Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known.
So there's nothing that shall be covered that shall not be known, man. Meaning all things is going to come to light, man. Don't worry, just give it a little time. All things come to light. Read on.
What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light.
So now Christ is speaking to his disciples right now. And Christ is saying to his disciples, everything that I'm telling you in darkness, meaning when no one's around, you speak it in the light, man. So Christ is telling them, yo, men are going to betray you. He's telling this just to his disciples. He's telling them, speak it in the light, meaning Christ is saying men are going to betray you and so forth. So these disciples is meant to go to camp and speak about this in the light in front of everyone. Say your family is going to betray you. And that's what we do, man. What we learn in darkness in class, where not many people's watching, we take it to the streets and speak it in the light, man. So everyone hears it. The breakdowns we get in the classroom in darkness, because not a lot of people's here, we then take it to the light and speak it in front of everyone, man. Let everyone hear it. That's what we do. And with that, that brings us to the end of the... Can this be an example? Kings, queens. No, the two's not relatable. But with that, that brings us to the end of the class. You got scripture breakdown class tomorrow by Captain Parasha, 7 p.m. Is it you're the general doing tomorrow? Yeah. All right, then I think you. All right, scripture breakdown class, 7 p.m. tomorrow. That's the end of the class.
All right, so powerful class. Give Officer Dung Bar a hand. First and foremost. All right, we are the I.S.U.P.K. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'ashra, 10% of a penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department of Teacher, Priest Fund, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations is the Feast of First Fruits on June the 21st. Correct?
June 21st on a Monday to be exact. So yeah, put that down, which is 3 weeks away.
3 weeks away.
That reminds me, actually, I'm gonna send everyone a text about it maybe tomorrow, so everyone's up to date with what we're doing and so forth. But June 21st.
Most High in Christ. All Akim and Akwaf, check the bulletin board in the hallway, and to check all I.S.U.P.K social media, so Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and also Google My Business. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I.M.A.D.I.M. Men of Israel, I.M.A.D.I.M. Shabbat, I.M.A.D.I.M. Barak, Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah,
Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah,
Yad Yamata. Class dismissed.